Warning, the following video is more than likely going to piss a lot of people off. If you are one of these people that try to damage control and come up with layers upon layers of excuses because you can't admit the truth, well, sucks to be you. Save yourself the misery, stop watching this video, and consult your therapist right away. And I do mean right the fuck away.
You know, when your parents tell you that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, I don't think they meant if you don't like somebody's work, don't give them any suggestions on how they could make it better. For those who don't know, let me first tell you a little bit about a PlayStation 3 game by the title LittleBigPlanet 2. Basically, it's, how do I put this? The ultimate toy box? Or something like that, I don't know. But, basically it's a platformer where you can create all sorts of cool shit in it. You can create levels, games, art, costumes for your avatar, and of course, music. It has something called a music sequencer that allows you to make songs on it. The interface does have its limitations, but you would actually be amazed the kind of shit that people have made with it. Hell, someone actually created a YouTube channel dedicated to the music that people make in this game. I'll put the link in the description so you can see for yourself. And believe me, there's quite a lot of people that made a name for themselves in the community. Master Blastia is one of those people. And he's a dumbass. He's a closed-minded ignoramus. He can't take dissenting opinions. And he's the main source material for this rant. Now, I said in my previous video that I didn't like his music, and let me tell you real quick why. You see, when I first discovered this guy about 2 years ago or something, I became a fan almost instantly. It was like nothing I'd ever heard of before in the LBP music community. But then as I started listening to more and more of his music, that's when it occurred to me. His music was only entertaining for a little while. As time went on, I started to think about why his music was starting to sound dull. Out of the 30 or so songs in that music gallery that I discovered in him, I only remembered 1 or 2 of them. The majority of his music didn't really have a feel to it, it was just there. Now, slowly but surely, I've started to not like him as a person for his stupidity. Some examples. No one entered his second music contest because the rules he put in place made it feel more like a classroom assignment. Plus, he made people go onto his YouTube channel to learn the rules in the first place, even though the music had to be made on the game. So why couldn't he just post the rules there? To promote his YouTube channel? Well, it wasn't like anybody who doesn't have the game was going to be able to enter anyway, so what was the point? Another example. When he got 3,000 hearts, which is equivalent to subscribers on YouTube, he started this series of Q&A videos, which he said he would upload 1 video to YouTube every week. He only uploaded 2 videos, 3 if you count the 2 parts in one of them. And so then he said he was making the 3rd or 4th video. And he never released it. No, he didn't give any notifications that he'd cancel the series, he just stopped. Not only was he not uploading every week like he said he would, but he kept his fans waiting for like 3 or 4 months only for it to be canned without a word of warning. And it's not like he didn't get enough questions. He said that he would start making the video when he got enough of them, which he did. Nothing. Another example. He started up this thing called Request of the Week. Every week, he'd fulfill someone's song request, and this is something that his fans were really excited for, since he's been getting all these requests when he became popular. He doesn't give them a single song. Yes, he hypes this shit up, and then cans it like it was a goddamn April Fool's joke. But at the same time, at around that point, I kinda anticipated that he wouldn't be able to go through an entire month. He couldn't even go 1 week. And his excuse was that he had life to worry about, so he had to can it. However, in a Minecraft video that he released shortly afterwards, he says that he had way too much time on his hands. So, he has all this time to make this gigantic castle in Minecraft, yet he doesn't have enough time to make a single request? So as you can see, this guy sucks at appealing to his fans. He's all hype. He makes promises to his fans that he can't keep, and he doesn't even at least apologize for it. He tells people to expect epicness in his next music gallery, and just like I thought would happen, he doesn't deliver. In fact, here's what really set the fact that I just did not like this guy in stone. I wrote a negative review on his 10th music gallery. It went something along these lines. Just as I thought, more of the same. Master, I really wish you would cut back on the reverb and watch the volume control on your instruments. There were one or two songs that I really liked in here, but overall the music is just there. Plus, it sounds like you're trying so hard to hold the listener's attention, but it ultimately ends up, getting boring instead. Also, cut back on that ascending note crap too. I'm getting sick of hearing that. Now, if you were to listen to his work for as long as I have, you would probably understand why I say this. And he's made a lot of songs too. He just doesn't want to bring anything new to the table with each new gallery he releases. I was just daydreaming about the music that I could be listening to. I was so bored from it. So then what happened? He deleted my review. And then he eventually blocked me. And that was when I really began to see his true colors. And what was his reason for doing it? You might want to buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, because this shit was funny to me. It was because I was being a meanie about it. Let that soak in for a second. He blocked me because I was being a meanie. Take a look at this.
I don't understand. Why are you being so mean? You're a mean man.
What are you, 9? As soon as I read this on his profile, I almost died laughing. And mind you, this guy's 23 years old, I don't know. Yet, he still has the mindset of a fucking 9-year-old. Not only from that, but also because he says that he takes constructive criticism. Yet, immediately after that, he says he makes his music sound dull on purpose. Yeah, he said one thing immediately after the other and contradicted himself in his profile description. I could almost swear he was trolling. But why does he make his music sound dull? Because he's afraid of people stealing his music. Yeah, I mentioned something about this possibly being the case in my previous video about him, and I had hoped that it wasn't true, but no. He still stands by that train wreck of an argument to this day. How can someone possibly be this fucking stupid? He publishes his work onto a public forum where it's vulnerable to being stolen, yet his main concern is that someone might steal it? I cannot believe that he's actually using that as an excuse to not want to improve. And then when someone does criticize his music, he basically resorts to shit like, well, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, so I'm going to block you. Your opinion is irrelevant and meaningless because other people like my music. You're taking this shit too seriously. I mean, it's not like the fucking music awards. You're not wearing the right headphones. YouTube fucks up my music. You don't like my shit? Too fucking bad. This is my fucking music and I'll do whatever the fuck what I want with it. I don't give two shits if you know what the fuck you're talking about or not. I don't need your goddamn pro tips. But I do take constructive criticism. It's shit like this that stupidify people. If that's even a real word, but still, they come up with these bullshit excuses because they think they don't need their fucking brains to tell someone they're wrong. They think they're right because they have so many more fans than I do, and anybody who disagrees with them is a troll, or a hater, or a bully, or a terrorist, or what the fuck ever they call them. And they also think my opinion is wrong just because someone else disagrees with me. You see, Negative? She disagrees with you too, and that automatically means you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, and thank you, my loyal ass kisser. I'm so glad you were there to save me, because I'm incapable of fighting my own battles, so I need someone else to back me up, because we can do anything by working with each other. La 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 la. Fuck! What's worse is that these fanboys just blindly agree with what these people say because they're just as fucking brain dead, if not worse. They prefer to listen to their idols over their doctors, over their therapists, over their lawyers, over their teachers, over their parents, over people in general who actually know how to debate. Over people who do their fucking research. Over people who know what the fuck they're talking about. Over people who are actually right and don't just think they are because they do their fucking homework before they speak and not just take someone's word for it because they're not so fucking blinded by their bias that they're willing to accept anything that comes out of their idols' mouths as undeniable truth without a second fucking thought. Especially when some of these people are actually friends with their idols. Their friends, or relatives, or what the fuck ever, try to defend them just for the sake of retaining their friendship. That is a load of bullshit, because that's usually when they start spewing out more logical shit than necessary. So if one of my friends say something that doesn't make sense, do you honestly think that I'm not going to point out the flaws in their logic just because I'm their friend? For example, a friend of mine once told me that he likes Perfect Dark because the game was made by Rareware. So then I came and said, if Perfect Dark was made by, I don't know, Infinity Ward, would you like it then? You see, just because you're friends with someone doesn't mean that they're always right and that you should always defend their every last syllable. This brings me to a certain friend affiliated with Master Blastia by the name Genocidal. At first glance, he may seem like a cool guy. You know, he gives good points, tells it like it is, and really seems like somebody I could get along with. But when I wrote that negative review on Master Blastia's music gallery, that's when I started to see a completely different side of him. That's when I began to see just how fucking two-faced he really is. He commented to me, trying to invalidate my opinion by saying that I don't make as many songs as Master Blastia. Are you fucking serious? You can say that about anybody, whether they know what they're talking about or not. Since when did I need to make more songs than him to be able to critique his music? That's like saying I hate Sonic 06 because it's filled to the brim with glitches, but I'm not allowed to criticize it just because I don't make games. Or that I don't like mohawks because I think it looks fucking weird, especially in public, but I'm not allowed to criticize it because I'm not a fucking hairstylist. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Plus, he said that my opinion has little to no validity just because I have higher quality standards than most people in the community. And basically what that translates to is that Master Blastia is one of the greatest LPP musicians of all time, and if I don't like his music, then I don't like anybody's music. Guys like Velvet Audio, Armadillo 13, World Coder, Retsumetmai, I can't like their music just be... Oh my god. And he also told me that Master's favorite genre is techno. And techno has certain guidelines to follow. And that makes it okay for him to stay dull. By following guidelines. Maybe if you just recently started making original music and you have little experience with it, sure. But Master Blaster has made well over 200 fucking songs. And yet you're encouraging him to keep following these guidelines and not to try something different and travel off the beaten path for a fucking change? And another thing he told me was that if I truly cared about Master Blaster, then I should not tell him what he's doing wrong. No. You cannot be this First you tell me that I can't criticize him because I don't crap out as many original songs as he does. Then you say that I can't criticize him because I have higher quality standards than most people. And now you're telling me that I can't criticize him, period? Oh my god. And he says that he has nothing against me. I call bullshit. After seeing the shit that he's saying, it's clear to me that he's willing to defend his friend to the last fucking man, no matter how badly he fucks up. If he does something wrong, don't tell him not to do it anymore, because that would make you a terrible friend. Fucking blow me. And also, I get people constantly telling me that Master Blaster is far superior in music than me. Genocidal is one of those people. And he and everybody else says it in such a way that they're just trying to get a reaction out of me. Well, you know what, people? It's fucking working. I am not afraid to admit that. And not because I'm hearing it at all. I don't give a fuck if somebody's better than me or vice versa. But because people are saying it to me so often that it's starting to get on my fucking nerves. Just as much as if my fanboys were constantly telling me that I was a legend, I'd be all like, shut up! You call me a legend one more time, I'm going to vomit! And the thing about it is, they don't ever say why they think that. Every single time someone says that to me, not once, does anyone well, you know what? Allow me to sink to your level, fanboys. And maybe even go a little deeper and see if I can get a reaction out of you. Trillix's music is miles better than Master's music. Because Trill's music has one thing that Master's music doesn't have. I'm lying, he has 5 things that I can name off the top of my head. Reverb control, volume control, variety, subtlety, and effort. What's the matter? Are you getting pissed, huh? You can't handle the fact that I'm explaining why I think Master Blaster sucks? Huh? Good. You should be getting angry. Because that's what fanboys, white knights, and ass-kissers do. Hey, I'm waiting right here, you dumb fucks, for you to come up with some stupid-ass excuses to try to keep your fucking idol on his fucking throne so I can come back and tell you just how fucking flawed your logic is. Another thing is that when I try to call someone out on their falsehood, sometimes they come back to me saying, oh, well, I work 2 jobs at the same time. I have a family that's in the music business. I pay my own bills. I have a $350 set of fucking headphones. Okay, that's good. And this is important. Why? What does this have to do with anything? You honestly think that you could shield yourself from my points just by saying how great a person you are? Oh, well, he could play the guitar. I guess that means everything I say is a load of shit. Fuck you. I don't care if you play the xylophone or the cello. I don't care if you live in a cardboard box or $1 million mansion. I don't care if you're a fry cook or a rocket scientist. I don't care if you bought a brownie or the entire city of Las fucking Vegas. I don't give a flipping, flying, fungal fuck if you're a flower or 3 ducks in a suit. It does not excuse the fact that what you said is incorrect and I was going to call you out on it, and the fact that you're coming back to me with such ignoratio-elenchi points just shows me that you haven't the faintest fucking idea how to debate and that you can't admit to being wrong every once in a while. I've also had people telling me that I can't take my own medicine. They think that I can criticize their shit, but they can't criticize mine because I'm such a badass that I don't need no fucking criticism. Well, you know what? That's what happens when people start misinterpreting my messages. They let the tone of my message interfere with what I'm trying to convey to them, and then they start getting the idea that I'm a troll, or I'm a bully, and I'm impossible to reason with just because I delivered my honest opinion in a harsh manner. Now, sometimes they twist my words completely out of context and fold it into something that'll feed their own fucking bias because they think I'm a big, mean, bully, jerk, fucking terrorist. And those people need to get their fucking heads checked because that is not the case. You can't expect me to just flat out go with your idea because you think it's good. That's just flat out being gullible. If I were to just assume that your idea would help me get better without taking into consideration the possible flaws that your point holds, it could potentially end up making me even worse. If you want to criticize me, then go right the fuck ahead. More power to you. But if I find holes in your criticism, don't think I'm not going to call you out on it. And if you honestly think that music can't be critiqued just because it was composed in a fucking video game or a certain program or tool or what the fuck ever, you can literally say that about any fucking song in existence. That is a cop-out argument, and you know it. And honestly, I think this is a good segue point back to Master Blast here, because there's still something that I want to say about him. You see, I don't think he realizes that the advice that I give him can be applied universally. He thinks that making music on an interface that just so happens to be implemented into a video game means that he doesn't have to get better at what he does, considering that he wants to make a career out of it. Yet, here he is, crapping out more of the same shit in a video game on an interface with limitations when he should have already moved on from LittleBigPlanet 2 to something like Reason or Ableton or hell even FL fucking Studio. So this begs the question, why? Master Blaster created 11 to 12 fucking music galleries and probably has made well over 200 songs in this game. If he's serious about wanting to get paid to make music, then why is he still here? Why is he still publishing his generic fucking garbage to a video game? Why? I'll tell you why.
You enjoy all the dick sucking, that's why.
It's because all that attention that he garnered on there is just too good. Isn't it? 3,500 fucking hearts. It's because a mere video game with such an apathetic community that has low quality standards and is easily entertained by mediocrity and the same old tired crap is the only place where he can get his dick sucked on a daily basis, which he loves to death, mind you. And when he encounters someone like me, who just so happens to not like his music, and they let him know about it, his excuse is that I wasn't being mature about it, and that all he heard from me was because here's the thing. Master Blaster has received so much positive feedback that he began developing an ego. He doesn't care about what people think of his music. He only cares about people liking his music. He doesn't care about wanting to make his music memorable. He only cares about putting people in a good mood by making generic, upbeat techno music that doesn't have any good reason to go back and listen to again because of how bland it sounds. He chose to go down the mainstream road and tries to appeal to as many people as he can by making them feel good with his music. That's why I can't stand this guy. He chose popularity over quality. and he thinks that he can keep people interested by following the same fucking guidelines and making that same generic crap with little to no interest in trying another fucking flavor, and if anybody questions it, he loses his shit. Me and Trill questioned it, and our reviews got deleted by him, and then eventually we ended up getting blocked as well. All because we were in the minority. And then he accuses us for taking the game too seriously. Well, let me tell you something, brother. If you can't handle the fact that we have an opinion that you don't want to hear in a mere video game, how the hell do you expect people to respect you in real life? Look at my Earth. Do you ever see me deleting other people's comments and reviews just because they said something harsh? No. Because freedom of speech is a fucking win. Why in the world would I publish my music for the public to listen to, but not allow them to say whatever the fuck they want about it? So if you have something you want to say to me, then by all means, say it in whatever fucking tone you damn well please. Just remember that if I find something that's bullshit or contradictory, I have just as much freedom to come back at you and call you out on it. Although I would appreciate it if you check your spelling and punctuation. Unless, of course, you're the type that deletes people's reviews if you don't fucking like them. And you can tell me that you take constructive criticism until you're blue in the fucking face. The fact of the matter is, people who legitimately can take criticism, constructive or not, generally don't need to tell others that they can. I can tell if you take criticism or not just by looking at how you react to it. I'm not that fucking naive. And also, the more often that you tell someone that you do take constructive criticism, the less likely it is you actually do. And that you're trying so hard not only to convince other people, but also to yourself that you can, when the reality is that you can't. Now this goes for everyone, absolutely every living, breathing organism existing on our Mother Earth. This applies everywhere, whether you're on a video game, the internet, real life, at your job, or at school, or where the fuck ever. If you can't take people telling you that your shit sucks, how the fuck do you expect anyone to take you seriously? You are going to get people who don't like your shit. That's how society fucking works. Get the fuck over it. And if you can't get the fuck over it, then get the fuck off the internet. And if you can't get the fuck off the internet, then get the fuck back in your diapers, because when the best you can do is come up with excuses, ad hominem, and ego stroking, then you're obviously not mature enough to be able to see both sides of the fucking fence, or even know how to debate in general for that matter, you fucking mad baby.
Really jealous of me, cause how much you wanna be. So you just look like an idiot when you say these mean things, cause it's too easy to see. You're really just a big weenie. Big weenie.
Ow! Jeez, what was that for? It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
Yeah, but it still hurts.
Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it.
Actually, that reminds me, one last thing.
Okay, next question. Do you lift? Let me show you real quick. Of course I do. Dude, I mean, come on, look at that. Is that not amazing?
Your jokes suck. They're predictable and they're delivered poorly. Just saying.